Do you guys know of Sucheta Dalal? She's the far-banned journalist who broke that Harshad Mehta scam to the world. And a couple of movies were recently released which featured the saga of Harshad Mehta. Some years ago, she received an email or an information from a whistleblower which said that there is a colocation server scandal in the National Stock Exchange. She wrote about it. What was the scandal? The scandal was a few brokers who paid a fee, of course, and they had access to the servers of National Stock Exchange, which is okay. But it so happened that some of them had more unrestricted access or closer access not only to the primary server of the National Stock Exchange but to the secondary server of National Stock Exchange also. And in the process, these brokers were able to access information a few seconds before the other brokers were able to access the information. And this resulted perhaps in huge gains to these brokers, because on the servers of these brokers there were certain algorithms which were set in, and you could, if you had this information milliseconds before your rivals, you could do a lot of purchases or you could sell a lot of shares and make money. When this scandal broke out, it didn't, nobody covered it except Sucheta Dalal. That's why hats off to this young lady. Not young lady, I mean to the lady. I wish uh, we have more young ladies like Sucheta Dalal who can catch, who can investigate such stories. Now there is another scandal which has come up. So SEBI did an investigation, and when they were carrying out the investigation, they found out about Anand. Anand Subramanian was brought in by Chitra Ramakrishnan. Chitra means bright picture, bright. So Chitra Ramakrishnan was the MD CEO of National Stock Exchange. And the stock exchange has been going up and up, and the stock index has been going up and up and up. And everybody thinks that because the stocks, the bourses are rising, everything is hunky dory there. She brings in a person who was making 15 lakh rupees in a subsidiary of a public sector company and who was a vice president leasing or something. And she brings him at a salary of a crore rupee per annum. And after a few 1 or 2 years, the salary is raised to 4 crores. The guy was initially called Group Strategy Officer or Group Strategy Advisor, and later on he was named Group Operating Officer. And yet there is no HR file which exists about that guy. The HR head of NSE raised an objection. How can you bring this guy uh, without any justification? But the guy was eased out of the job gradually. It is said that in National Stock Exchange there was a lift exclusively for the use of Chitra, the MD CEO, and this group operating officer. Yet no journalist in India is trying to investigate what is the exact relation between Chitra and Anand. Are they close relatives? Nobody is talking of the personal lives of Chitra or Anand. Nobody knows if Chitra is married. I'm not saying that we should get into the private life of people who do private jobs, but such a big scandal has broken out. So we must know what is the relationship between Chitra and Anand. And then there is a yogi who lives in Himalayas or wherever he lives. And Chitra says she has been seeking inspiration from this yogi for many years. And what is the advice the yogi gives to Chitra? The advice he gives is about Anand. You should raise the salary of Anand. Anand should fly first class. Anand should fly business class. You should work 3 days a week. You should work 4 days a week. Raise his salary. Give him this title. And who is this yogi? Chitra says the yogi does not have a physical form. He can manifest anywhere, anytime, from anywhere. And yet this yogi needs an email ID, and he needs to communicate with Chitra through email. And although he is a spiritual person, he is very much interested in swimming with Chitra in Seychelles, and he is very much interested in the hairstyle of Chitra, and he is very much interested in giving beauty tips to Chitra. Is Anand that yogi? Or is it that this story of this mysterious yogi has been planted so that the attention gets diverted from the original collocation scandal? That is the question to be investigated. But it looks like that except for Sucheta Dalal, no other journalist is interested in any investigative stories. Investigative journalism, at least in the business world, is dead. People are only bothered about Google information, reading the handouts, reading the handouts which the companies release, and making a story based upon that. Long time ago, there was a guy called Ramesh Menon. God bless him. He taught me journalism in YMCA. He broke that scandal of the Sarabhai enterprise, in which he said how they were leading a rich private life at the expense of the company. I have not seen any single journalist do a good major story on any corporate. Is the investigative journalism dead? I wish we had some tabloid kind of papers who could dig the private lives of Chitra and Anand. I hope after you see my video, some young journalist will take this up and write about it.